Why do some people keep choosing the wrong partner over and over again? Not once, not twice, but in almost every relationship. Many people say, I just have bad luck in love. But in sessions lately, I keep hearing something different. I keep choosing the wrong person. And the uncomfortable truth is this. Most of the time, wrong person isn't random. You choose them because the relationship feels familiar. And very often it feels familiar because it repeats how your parents treated you. Let me explain. When someone says, I keep choosing the wrong people, very often what it really means is this. I choose people who treat me the same way my parents treated me. And right there, we begin to understand something important. So what does actually mean to choose your person? Your person is someone who can do two simple things: to love you and to accept you. To love and accept your weaknesses, to love and accept your vulnerability, to love and accept your imperfections. Meaning that even with your flaws, you still feel understood. And this isn't about someone checking a box after noticing your flaws. It's not like they say, okay, I see the problems, but I'll tolerate them. No, it's much deeper than that. It's about this. The person won't turn away from you, won't leave you, and won't close the door in your face the moment you are not exactly how they imagine. So how do people actually meet their person? Honestly, the answer is unbelievably simple. And I think many people don't find it precisely because it feels too simple. Step 1. You have to take an honest look at how your parents treated you. A lot of people struggle to accept the possibility that their parents simply couldn't love them the way they needed. That their parents were emotionally immature. That they didn't know how to build loving relationship or real emotional connection. That they couldn't truly accept their child. And then, when someone enters their life who is different, someone who actually accepts them, something very interesting happens. Let me give you an example. Imagine that your whole life, your mother told you, you are useless, you are stupid, you will never succeed, you don't have the brain for anything. And then you get a teacher at school who says, you are a very capable girl, you will succeed, you're talented. What do you think happens? Most people don't suddenly think, maybe my mom was wrong. Instead, they assume the teacher is lying. Now, let's apply the same mechanism to romantic relationships. Imagine a man who grew up with a mother who constantly told him, you're like your father, you're a liar, I don't want to have you, I regret giving birth to you, you are impossible to love, you are a burden. And then a woman enters his life who genuinely sees him and loves him. Very often, he won't fully believe her love. He may think she wants something from him, or he may simply not believe her at all. And this happens much more often than people realize. So what do you actually need to do? You need to apply critical thinking, but not to the people who treat you well. You need to apply critical thinking to the criticism, judgment, and rejection you received from your parents. Because at that stage of their lives, they may simply not have been capable of loving you in a healthy way. Maybe your mother was depressed when she said those things. Maybe she was exhausted. Maybe she didn't understand what she was doing. But the reality is that these things happen. And what you need to question is not the people who finally believe in you, who see something good in you, who love you. What you need to question is the feedback that you absorbed from your parents. You need to allow the possibility that your mother was wrong, not the people who see your value. And that's the first step. The second step is this. You start meeting the right people when you stop choosing partners who feel like your parents. Have you noticed something interesting? Sometimes you meet someone and they might say not everything perfectly. They cannot even express themselves clearly, but something feels familiar. They feel like family, like your person. And then you meet someone else who says all the right things, literally everything you should want to hear, and you still don't like them. And it's not about what they said. You just don't like them. Many people follow that feeling and think, if I don't like them, it means they're not for me. But very often, something else is happening. Since childhood, a person may have been surrounded by people who didn't feel safe, didn't feel kind, didn't feel emotionally warm. So discomfort becomes familiar, and familiar starts to feel right. Let me give you another example. Sometimes people follow my work in social media for a long time, watch my content, read what I write, and then they send me a message just to argue. At some point, I had to ask myself, if you believe I'm completely wrong, why are you here? Why do you come here just to fight? I don't feel the need to convince someone to like me. If my perspective isn't for you, that's completely okay. You are free to leave. But when someone stays only to fight, it usually isn't about me. It's a familiar dynamic. Some people feel most comfortable in a position. In childhood, they had to prove something to their mother. They had to battle for love. So later in life, they recreate the same dynamic again and again. People don't just enter environments, they bring their patterns with them. But the truth is that the only truly nourishing connection is the one where two people can accept each other. There is no other way. And I also want to say something openly. A lot of psychologists talk about acceptance as if it means tolerating anything. But I don't see acceptance in tolerating someone who hates you, or someone who doesn't love you, or someone who is disgusted by you. That isn't acceptance. A loving connection is something different. It's when I love you and accept you and you matter to me, and you love me and accept me and I matter to you. And our connection doesn't feel like the relationships I experienced in childhood. It doesn't feel like something that is done to me against my will. It feels new, it feels different. So how do you start choosing your people? How do you create a life where loving and accepting people appear? You stop choosing people who are like your parents. Because parents may not have been bad people, but they might have been emotionally cold, distant, unavailable. And by the way, this endless romanticism of avoidant attachment. Let's be honest for a moment. Avoidant attachment often simply means that the person doesn't want closeness with you. And anxious attachment often appears when a person doesn't feel safe or stable in the relationship. The moment an anxious person meets someone who genuinely loves and accepts them, their anxiety begins to dissolve. And when an avoidant person truly wants closeness and meets someone safe, their avoidance can melt surprisingly quickly. So this knowledge about attachment styles is not meant to excuse someone who doesn't want closeness with you. It means to help you make a clear decision. If someone is avoidant with you, it likely means they don't want closeness with you. And you don't need to earn love. You don't need to perform. And if you feel anxious around someone, it probably means you cannot feel safe with them. So you pack your suitcase and go where you can feel safe. If people approach relationship like that, they would very quickly find themselves surrounded by people who love them and accept them. But there is one inner conflict that often appears. Many people think, if I leave the person who doesn't love me, no one else will love me. I will be alone forever. But that simply isn't true. Out of 1,000 people, maybe 999 will not be a match, but you will find the one. And honestly, in personal relationships, you don't need more than one. In marriage and family, the entire mission is to find one person who understands you, accepts you, and loves you. That doesn't cancel your work on yourself. You should grow, you should develop, you should become better, but not in order to deserve love. You grow so that you can feel comfortable next to someone who already accepts you, someone who already loves you, And believe me, when it's truly your person, at any stage of life, with any background, on any part of your path, you will feel like family to each other. And there can be 1,000 perfect, polished, ideal people, and you will feel nothing. And then there will be one person who may be a little unusual, a little reserved, maybe even a little strange, but somehow they feel like home. So, what I am inviting you to do, if you want to find love and acceptance, start applying critical thinking to what you absorbed from your parents. Maybe their judgment was wrong. Maybe the way they treated you wasn't normal. Maybe the way people who see good in you is actually the truth. Maybe you need to accept their love instead of holding onto your parents' rejection. And that's when a new relationship story begins. Think about it. If you found this video valuable, please send me a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more psychological insights.